if everyone is essentially different from each other, and if everyone is also an entirely different chemical substance, biology, human being in themselves, provided with or cultivated with different talents, skills, abilities, faculties, knowledge, intelligence, character, understanding, and so on and so forth, if everyone is essentially wired differently, made, designed, engineered by biology, evolution, nature, obviously for different reasons, for different circumstances, adversities, challenges, oppositions, rivalries, miseries, for the actualization of entirely different ambitions, for the enhancement of humanity, for the elevation of science, technology, and everything else. If all those things are already happening and decided, and if man already have got their own freedom, sovereignty, understanding, then they don't need any governments, politicians, anyways. Then they must have never thought about any governments, and they must also have never brought about any governments, ideologies, institutions, organizations, constructs into power as well as into existence. And because we have brought all of them into existence, now not only are they controlling us, but we're systematically domesticated, corrupted, infiltrated, conditioned, controlled to only be a certain way. So whatever we must have been controlling is now controlling us, enslaving us, subjugating us in action, talent, behavior, education, thinking, mind, decision, and so on and so forth. And similarly, if everyone already has freedom, if everyone deserves freedom, independence, sovereignty, and if everyone already naturally has got those because of their humanity and also because of their governments, constitutions, and democracy, then no one must be forced into action. No man or woman in the world must be forced against their will, decision, mindset, anyways, because whenever we force a particular man or woman into action, then that does not turn out to be good. That does not basically produce fruitful consequences or leads to productive outcomes, because whatever is done out of force or coercive leverage or because of coercion ultimately becomes bitter, bad, counterproductive anyways. Because ultimately we have got our own free will, free speech, free action and thought, and ultimately we are led and governed by all these instinctual, intuitive powers in one way or another without governments. So obviously we must not be forced into action. No man must be forced into action, because whatever is done with the help of coercion, force, essentially turns out to be bitter, dangerous, counterproductive, unwanted anyways for the entirety of humanity. And that's how we get violators and bad people. When we force our own traumas upon the others, then that becomes bad. And if a man does not believe something, then he must not be forced to propagate that idea or spread